Hello, hello, hello. Y'all know I don't do the late night lives anymore, but Lord. Kim, Jonna, hey, how are y'all doing? How are you doing? No, I'm not coming on here trying to be cute. Yes, my head is wrapped up. Yes. I'm in a half lit room. Yes, 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 and all of the above. Yes. So let me start off with this. I was gonna try to wait for a few. It is what it is. If you don't want to hear the truth, go ahead and get off this live. Just get off this live because I am not on here to try to pacify anyone's feelings tonight. Because I'm sick and tired of people feeling like they have the right to control somebody else's life. And I see we lost a couple, so I appreciate that. Hey, ain't no shame in your game. Ain't no shame in your game. Listen, listen. I saw earlier today, and I was gonna try to wait. I thought about waiting until tomorrow. I didn't want to put it in with the live that we were already doing. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It does not matter. And let me say this, so y'all might not like this. Y'all might not like this because people always want to judge certain people and they certain communities they don't want to deal with. But let me tell you something. Whether you like somebody's sexual orientation or not, you have no right. What's going on, Bruce? You have no right to take somebody's life. I need folks to understand that. Number one, it's none of your business what somebody has going on. Number two, why are you worried about who has who in their bedroom? Why is that any of your business? Just like it ain't nobody's business who might be laying up in this spot right here. It's none of your business. What reason do you have? And I've seen a lot of this talk, especially this week. Like I told you guys earlier with the stuff with Shanquella and the people that were with her. A lot of us have become the very people that we have always complained about. We have become the oppressors. So I'm going to say this again. If you don't want to hear the truth, go ahead and get off. Because this is my little quick rant real quick. You had another mass shooting in Colorado where a 22-year-old male went in and shot up what would be considered, you can say gay club, you can say LGBTQI, like whatever club you want to call it. He walked in, opened fire on these people, and two of the individuals that were in there that also happened to be a part of that community, actually a couple more of them, they subdued the man, they took him down and stopped him from killing more people. So at least 5 people were killed and at least 25 were injured. And I'm looking at the freaking comments and I'm hearing people talk about how they deserve this and they're making jokes about people dying. But if it's your child, if it's your sister, if it's your brother, if it's a celebrity, then you sitting up there breaking your neck to get to somebody's funeral. You're breaking your neck trying to get to a whole other state to try to show up at a memorial. You're breaking your neck trying to get commentary. So you will have something to talk about. Now let's see how many people, how many bloggers are going to sit up here and say that killing those people were wrong. It was wrong. There was nothing right about it. You don't have to like what somebody else has going on, but we're going to be honest for a minute. Because if we're going to talk about stuff that is ungodly, let's talk about it. Okay? Let's talk about it for a minute. Then knock my water down. Let's have a talk about that. Listen, if you're sitting around and at some point you have or you are currently cheating on your spouse, then what you're doing is not of God. If you have, are now, have in the past, will in the future, sat there and talked about people in a negative way, then what you're doing is not of God. If you have stolen or taken something that did not belong to you, it does not matter if it was a piece of candy, a piece of gum, a quarter that you found in your mama pocket. It does not matter what it is. It did not belong to you. You stole it. That is not of God. Okay? If you sitting out there lusting over somebody else's spouse, over somebody else's man, over somebody else's wife, does not the good book say, covet not thy neighbor's wife? Let's talk about it. If you sitting up here and you lying like a rug, I mean like a old oriental rug, you just lying, then what you're doing is not of God. So let's talk about it. If we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about all the things that we think people are doing wrong, oh, they're going to hell for that, then what you going to hell for? You think that God is really concerned about, boy, oh, Jesus, let me tell you something. I can't. I'm looking at these comments and I'm sitting up here like, you got to be freaking kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. We're sitting up here and we're mourning the loss, as we should, when children get shot up because the kids aren't safe. We had people in my state, in South Carolina, in Charleston, where people can't even worship God without somebody coming in there trying to shoot up a place. You got other people. You got people in movie theaters can't go and watch a movie without people coming and shooting up a place. And we're going to sit here. We're going to sit here with a straight face. And people can honestly laugh and poke fun at people getting murdered because they don't like their sexual orientation or they don't like their lifestyle. What is wrong with people? Understand, I have lost, I'm not going to even call them friends, because if you're a friend, then we won't have any discussions or, no permanent breakups because you don't like the fact that I won't go and talk bad about a particular group of people. Let me tell you how I look at this. The same way that people come after the LGBTQI list, whatever you want to call them, the same way that people come after them is the same way that people came after black people. We are doing the same thing that was done to us. Now you want to talk about people having a slave mentality. It couldn't have affected you too much because you're turning around and you're doing the same thing to other people that was done. I guess it did affect you because you're doing the same thing that you're saying other people are doing to us as a group. That does not make sense to me. And it is hypocritical. It was hypocritical. A lot of people do not understand that there are laws that involve black people that are still on the books. I mean, some historic laws that if they were still enforced, we'd all be in some mess. And we can sit here with a straight face and come after people. At the same time, talking about how people are doing us wrong. But you doing the same thing. You doing the same thing. Oh, y'all, ooh, child. I'm sorry, y'all. You sitting at, ooh, Lord have mercy. It's too much. And the thing is, people get so much hate in their system, and I question some things. I question some things because working in the field that I work in, I understand some things. And I understand that some people, it's not about it being a biblical or a spiritual thing for them. Some people come hard after a particular group because they're harboring their own feelings that they don't want to let out. It's your own insecurities that you got going on. I need folks to understand something. The same way that a straight person has personal preferences, everybody has personal preferences. And guess what? Everybody that's gay, everybody that's homosexual, everybody that's bisexual, they don't want you. They don't want you. Just like everybody that's straight don't want you. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sick of this mess. I am so sick of this mess. And as y'all can see, I lost folks on this. I do not care. I am not a person that just fights for justice for one group of people. This is about justice for everybody. And oh my God, let us go back. If we're going to live by the preachings of Martin, then let's go by that and go by the teachings that he went by from other folks, and let us remember that an injustice to one, oh my God, is an injustice to all. Now, I worded that a little bit different, but we understand what it is. If you do one person wrong, that's no different than you doing all these other people wrong. Because if you'll do it to this person, you'll do it to me. You will do it to me. Come on. Hopefully you're not sitting around laughing whenever these kids and stuff happening at these schools. Are we doing that? Actually, I did see a few people that had a couple jokes. You know what? Because the type of people that we are now, God help us all. God help us all. I watched an interview where a patron that was in the club whenever this situation took place, and this is not the first time this happened. I remember this happened a few years ago. I think it was down in Florida or Vegas. I'm not sure exactly where it was, where somebody came and did a mass shooting there, and there are a couple things going on there. If you can't see a person for who they are, certain lines of work that you don't need to be in, period. That's the first thing. That's one of the first things. What's going on, Sarah? That's one of the first things. Another thing. If you are teaching hate in 2022, if you are teaching hate in 2022, you're no different than the people that was teaching hate in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s. You're no different than the people that went up to that Capitol and did all that mayhem and foolishness. You're no different. You're no different. You're no different than the people that were in West Virginia or Virginia saying Jews will not replace us. You're no different than those people. And I said it. Probably get talked about. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I got to live for me. I got to live for me. And I'm not going to turn my back on someone because of what their sexual orientation is. I'm definitely not going to be the one, because I understand that for a lot of people, it's so much deeper than just, well, they like boys. It's deeper than that. For a lot of people, y'all understand why letters even keep getting added to this. Because there are a lot of unknowns. People don't realize, for some, there is a genetic basis behind why they feel the way they feel. It's not because somebody touched them. It's not because somebody was playing with them. Some of them have a genetic predisposition. Some of them have extra darn chromosomes. It's a chromosomal thing. You don't know what a person has going on in their life, in their body. You don't know what you have going in your body. But I can tell you what, if you look deep enough, you might find out some stuff about yourself that you might not like. And then somebody start looking at you. I just want some people to I'm not, I don't care. I don't care who somebody decides to sleep with. The only person that I cared about sleeping with somebody was a person that was trying to sleep with my husband. That's the only person that I was ever having some concern about. Other than that, and once you do it, that's on y'all. That's above me. That's above me. That's above my pay grade. That's above my rank. That's above anything that I got going on. But for people to sit here, especially my Christian folks, I'm going to call y'all out, or I'm going to call y'all out. My Christian folks that got so much to say, but you are okay with people in the church cheating on each other, with each other, people in the church, the deacon over here to mess with the woman on the motherboard over here, they got kids together, don't nobody know the kids or their kids until somebody dies, all the kids come out, now we got a whole big scandal going on. You get it, and we got the nerve to talk about what somebody else got going on. Ooh. I heard some conversations on YouTube the other day, and I heard these guys, and they had so much anger, and they made a lot of stuff that was going on all about. I can't even think of the name that they were calling the group. What's up, Basic Mom? What's up? And I'm sitting up there and I'm like, what is with you? Because when you find yourself always talking about a particular group, especially a group that you're not included in, it's something about that group that bothers you. Like that thing is personal. It's personal. So what is going on with you? And this goes back to the conversation that we were having earlier. What is going on with you that has you so concerned? What is going on with you that has you so angry with a certain group of people that you don't know? A group that you act like you're not trying to know. You're not trying to understand what they have going on. I have counseled people, and I can say this now, I have counseled people who wanted to end their lives because they did not want to be that way. They lived their lives at a lie for their family, for their friends. But in all honesty, their family knew that they were that way since they were kids. They were just in denial about the situation. And these people going on, living their lives, just living a whole lie. Because they were too worried about telling people who they really were, because they didn't want to get just thrown out of the family. If this happens, then we're disowning you. We don't have anything to do with you. You know what? If that's the way they feel, then let them go about their business, because they're going to have to answer for their behaviors in the end, the same way you're going to have to answer for whatever it is you got going on. But to think that it is okay to laugh about somebody going up into a building, not saying a word, just open fire on these people in a building. I'm going to give y'all some of these comments. Oh, Lord have mercy. But we have no control over that at all. No control. No control. Now, can I honestly sit here and say that some people haven't made that choice? No, I can't say that because I don't know. I haven't lived that life. But I can sit here with all certainty and say that I know for a fact that for some people there are some biological things that are going on with them that they have no control over. That was included, that I means something. For those of you who don't know what that I represents, that I used to be another word. That I used to be what we refer to as a hermaphrodite, intersex. That means you have individuals that are born with both. For the sake of this video, we're going to say they got both parts. They may not have them fully, but they have a little bit, their chromosomes are off. That's why I said it's a chromosomal thing. So you have some kids, and this is what I want y'all to understand. And YouTube might not even let me keep this video up. Some of y'all might have been a different sex when you were born. That's what I'm saying. You better check yourself first. Before you go running out behind other people trying to put so much hate on them, you better check yourself. Because all it takes is an extra X or an extra Y. If you don't know what it is, you're going to have to go back to science class to get that. All it takes is a little extra X or extra Y for some. And you may be a boy. You may be born what would be considered a boy. You got a little piece of meat down there. You got a little peck down there. But as you get older, you start developing breasts. Once upon a time, doctors were making decisions. Parents had to make the decision when that child came out. And sometimes they could spot it before the child came out. These parents had to decide what sex their child was going to be based on what they looked like or what they were genetically the most closest to. And they made a decision. Now you have parents that are allowing their kids to come out and you make a decision when you get older. But that's not the norm. So you may have a little girl growing up looking as a little girl, but biologically, she's a little boy. So she's running around here looking at other little girls and y'all think she gay. Y'all might think she's bisexual. Because she's looking at girls. She's a girl. No, her body on the inside telling her that she's a boy. That testosterone that she got all up running through her body is telling her that she's a boy. But we so busy looking at stuff on the outside, never really taking the time to try to understand how stuff works, because we just going off what people told us. As people will pick up a darn book sometimes and see that this stuff goes deeper than, oh, well, you like boys, you like girls. That's not what it's all about. Do you honestly think that people would be sitting up here wanting to take their own lives, not wanting to be here because they're living a life, they're living in a body that they don't feel they're supposed to be in? Or to have feelings for somebody of the same sex and they can't get rid of those feelings? And in their mind, the only thing that's stopping them from containing that label is the fact that they have not physically acted on what they were feeling. That's the only thing that's keeping them from being there all the way. Well, I haven't physically touched anybody. I have feelings for them, but I haven't touched anybody. Let's have some real conversations, y'all. I'm so tired of people dancing around this and coming after people, or even coming after me crazy. I don't care how you feel about me. Because at the end of the day, I only serve one God. One. And I was always taught, and I believe to this day, that God knew who we were going to be before we knew who we were going to be. So don't tell me that y'all think that God's surprised by anything that's going on, because if you read any word in that Bible, you know that this stuff is going to happen from the beginning. It was happening back then. Like, why we think today's supposed to be any different? The only thing that's different about today is that people are becoming more courageous about coming out. You don't have as many people living a double life. They just coming on out. And why should they have to go and lie about who they are? You not lying about liking the opposite sex. Why they gotta lie about liking the same sex? How much sense that make? And who are we to tell people what they're supposed to be doing? What's going on, Angela Southern Comfort? I mean, help me. Help me. And to anybody that wants to challenge me on this, you come and sit in my shoes and sit on the other side of the desk and have to talk to folks and listen to what they've been through and listen to what they're going through with their families. Listen to all the years of stuff that they had to do while they tried to be somebody else. And then you come and talk to me. Listen to the pain that a mother or a father feels when their child gets hurt or gets killed. I'm saying killed. I'm not even doing unalive today. When their child gets hurt or injured in a mass casualty, it's the same hurt that a child, that parent that had a child, a straight child, that parent that had a Hispanic child sitting over there and somebody was targeting Hispanics. The parent that might have had a Jewish child and somebody targeting Jews. It's the same hurt. It's the same hurt. And you can only hope. You can only hope that in your hatefulness, it's one thing, you don't have to go along with stuff, but you don't have to be hateful to people. You don't have to wish bad on people. You don't have to like them. They might not like you either. But you don't have to treat people a certain way. You don't have to degrade them because you don't agree with what they have going on. It's not your choice. You are not the ultimate decision maker. You are not the person that decides whether or not they are in heaven or hell. If you believe in heaven or hell, you are not that person. You are not Jesus. You are not Jesus. You are not God. You are not Lord. You are not King of Kings. You ain't none of that. And yes, I said ain't. You ain't none of that. So who are you to go and tell somebody else what? Man, listen. Whew. I'm going to let you guys just hear this short. I'm not going to even show it on the screen. I'm just let you hear it.
Tonight, a Colorado community is reeling after a massacre at a popular LGBTQ+ club in Colorado Springs claimed at least 5 lives. More than 24 people were hurt. In response to the brutal attack, the state's openly gay governor said, "My heart breaks." First responders arrived on the scene just minutes after the first call came in of a gunman opening fire. Witnesses say 2 heroic patrons inside stopped the shooter. Police say the 22-year-old suspect was armed with an assault-style rifle, and they're now investigating the incident as a possible hate crime. The suspect was injured and apprehended at the scene. Law enforcement officials tell ABC News that he was arrested last year after an alleged bomb threat incident. Tonight, a memorial is growing at the scene of the attack with flowers and notes left in honor of the victims. And President Biden released a statement saying we cannot and must not tolerate hate. We have team coverage beginning with ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman from Colorado Springs.
Tonight, that deadly shooting inside an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs.
We do have multiple critical.
5 people killed, at least 25 wounded in the latest mass shooting to rip into a community in America. Clothes and medical supplies left strewn on the sidewalk, remnants of the panic and chaos there. Survivor Joshua Thurman was celebrating his birthday and was dancing inside Club Q, the only nightclub of its kind in this city, when he heard the gunshots.
It was so scary. I heard shots, broken glass, bodies. It was... How? Why?
Police say the alleged gunman, 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich, who had been charged in connection with bomb threats against his parents last year, was armed with an AR-style rifle and multiple magazines. Club Q had been hosting a drag show when he entered, opening fire immediately. Officials describing 2 club-goers as heroes tonight. Did the suspect surrender?
So we actually had 2 incredibly brave, at least 2 incredibly brave citizens that were inside the club. And as soon as they could, they grabbed onto him and detained him for us. And they potentially stopped a lot of people from getting killed.
Police say the initial call about an active shooter came in just before midnight. Officers dispatched the scene, arriving within about 3 minutes. 2 minutes after that, they say, the alleged gunman was detained. Police said the suspect suffered injuries and had to be hospitalized. Authorities say at least 2 guns, including that AR-style rifle, were recovered at the scene, and the massacre is being investigated as a hate crime.
I'm going to pause this 1 second. Because Because I want y'all to recognize something. We've had all of these mass shootings that have been going on, and people have not been able to subdue these people. These same people that everybody has so much to say about, and you want to call them sissies and all this other stuff. Yeah, they were the ones that took that gunman down. You have situations where the people that look like me, that carry the weapons and all that stuff, we're not even able to take these folks down. You had two brave people in there that decided you weren't gonna hurt nobody up in there. You won't hurt nobody else up in there. Not tonight. Not tonight. And they put their lives on the line to save the other people that were in there. Because I'm sitting here like, I'm seeing a lot of folks that are straight. Y'all ain't busting a grape. Y'all got so much to say about everybody else, but you ain't busting a grape whenever stuff kicking off. And these people put themselves in a line of fire to protect those around them, people that they did not know. So you might want to be careful about the conversations that you're putting out there, because let me let this little report finish.
I just don't understand what leads people to do something so hateful, so evil to anybody. Much less, targeting any particular groups of people.
And tonight, we're learning more about those who were killed, including 28-year-old Daniel Davis Aston, who worked as a bartender at the club. His mother telling ABC News her youngest son, Daniel, was amazing and that he was our baby. President Biden releasing a statement late today calling the attack senseless, saying we cannot and must not tolerate hate. And the nation's first openly gay governor, Jared Polis, speaking out.
And an entire community traumatized, and frankly, really LGBTQ people across the country, seeing what happened in Orlando and now happened here.
And that club goer, Joshua Thurman, wondering tonight if he and others in the local LGBTQ community can ever feel safe again.
What are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go? How are we supposed to feel safe in our environment when it just got shot up?
The entire community deeply wounded. Matt joins us now from the scene in Colorado Springs. And Matt, you just spoke with the police chief. What did he say about the direction of this investigation?
Lindsay, the chief said they're going through a tremendous amount of evidence. You can see some of that work happening behind me. They're talking to eyewitnesses. There is surveillance video of the moment of the attack as well that they're pouring over. But they're also trying to ascertain how it was that the suspect obtained that AR-style weapon and when he did it, and whether it was lawful for him to do so given those charges that he faced last year, which included
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys hear the black guy that was first speaking. I have the full interview.
Good afternoon. We're joining you with breaking news today. The nation's latest mass shooting is at an LGBTQ nightclub in
I was on the dance floor and I heard shots. I heard 4 to 5 shots ring out. I thought it was the music. There was either the music was so loud that we couldn't hear anybody scream for help, or we just didn't hear anybody scream for help. So I thought it was the music, so I kept on enjoying myself. And then I heard another set of shots ring out, and I turned to my left and I saw the flash from the muzzle. And when I saw that, I ran to the dressing room where the drag queens change and get ready for their performances. And there was, including me, there were 2 other people in there. I made them lock the doors. We closed and locked the doors. We got down on the ground and we cut off all the lights. We heard everything. We heard a third round of shots. We heard the assailant be detained by, I assume, employees of Club Q. We heard the police come in. We heard yelling, shaking, crying, fearing for our lives. I'm thinking, like, at any second, this man could just bust through the door and kill us if you really wanted to. Bodies on the ground, blood, shattered glass, people dead. It was sad. It was scary. Our safe space is no longer our safe space, and we are a broken community, and we shouldn't have to come together after something like this.
All right, Bruce, have a good one. Okay, I'm okay. So they went and turned the comments off on this one. Y'all, this video earlier today, the comments were so, I'm going to say grotesque. The comments were so, oof, when I tell you they had my blood boiling. They literally had my blood boiling. And this is Channel 9 News. They finally decided to turn the comments off. I'm going to say this as a person that works in law enforcement. There's no room for people, this is my personal opinion, there's no room for people in law enforcement that have hatred towards a particular group, any group. I don't feel like there's room for anybody in the educational system that has hatred towards any group. I don't feel like there's anyone in the medical field. I'm included in that field as well. I don't feel like there is room for anyone in there that has hatred towards a specific group. There are just certain things you just need to stay far away from. If you have that type of hate in your heart and you can't empathize with people, not because of anything special that they did, but because they're human. If you can't do that, then what type of person are you? And I'm just, I don't know, I'm just one of those people who feels like if you're going to fight for justice, then no one is excluded. No one should be excluded. So the same way that I am hoping that this young lady from Charlotte and her family gets justice, me personally, I'm praying the same thing for these people that lost their lives here in Colorado. Understanding this is the second thing that I know of, because they were the ones, they also had the movie shooting there, the mass shooting at the movie theater there. Not too far from one of the places that we train at. So, I mean, if you're about that justice life, that justice life, justice is not selective. See, that's the problem that people are running into. You're finding people that want to make it selective, but it's not selective. And someone's right to live is not selective either, and I don't think it should be up for debate. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. See, God just did something for me, because he did not want me looking at those comments on that one again. Because when I tell y'all,
Colorado community.
When I tell y'all those comments, now I'm going to read some of the ones that are positive to me, and I'm going to get off here. I'm not going to stay on here too long. Someone just said, it pains me to think that people are willing to go this far to ruin other people's lives over an opinion. And that's what it is. Whatever you think about anybody else's lifestyle, who they're with, how they're doing things, and that's your opinion. That's all it is. It's your opinion. This person goes on to say, please just live your own life. And my condolences go out to the friends and families of the victims and those who were involved. I hope you all stay safe and recover. Someone else said, thank God for the 2 who detained the gunman. They 100% saved lives. Someone else said, this is just heartbreaking, prayers going out to all the victims. Someone else said, just when you think things can't get any worse, our world is so messed up these days, and it's so sad, and which the direction it continues to head in. My heart goes out to the families, praying for peace, comfort, and blessings. Someone else said, this is absolutely heartbreaking. Someone else says, this is a teenager. This is why you need to be careful in a year like today. Be careful, y'all. This one. I remember there was a time where reports like this would surprise me. But nowadays, a shooting is happening every day and nothing's going to be done about it. As usual. Thoughts and prayers, not going to change it either. Just RIP to all current and future victims. That's sad. That's sad. Someone else says, this makes me so sad to hear. My LGBTQ friends are some of the most sweet, kind, and loving people I know. Why would someone attack kind people so hatefully? Here's the thing. I'm not going to go through all the comments. You guys can look at the stories on YouTube. I know a lot of people that would be considered a part of that community. I don't identify them as being part of that community. If you close to me, then you just close to me. I don't, just like they don't say, oh, you part of the black community. Like, no, that it is what it is. That's, you got your stuff going on, I got my stuff going on. That's your business. Now, if you need to talk to me, you need some advice, you know, or you want to give me some advice, then whatever. But other than that, that's your business. That's your business. Now, we all, you know, kicking a bobo and we all talking about what we got going on and laughing and joking about little stuff or whatever. Listen, I'm going to sit here and laugh just like you talking about I don't care about that stuff. I just don't care. The only thing I care about is people being done right. That's it. That's all. All that other stuff, it doesn't matter to me. You treat people the way that you want to be treated, and you treat them the way they want to be treated. And nobody wants to be gunned down or hurt because of what they have going on in their personal or in their sex lives. And nobody should have to answer to you about what they have going on in their personal or their sex lives, because that's none of your darn business. And there's no other way to put it. It's none of your business. And if it bothers you to the point that you feeling all types of hatred in your heart, then you need to go and check yourself, because you got something going on in your inside that ain't sitting right. And that's the reason why it bothers you so much. It's bothering you for a reason. So you might want to check yourself. What have you gone through that's causing you so much stress and bitterness and hatred toward a group of people that you don't know? What's going on in your life? What has happened in your life? All right, I'm gonna get on off here. I just had to come and say something about this because I'm tired. I've had people say, "Oh, I forgot you one of those liberal people. You're for the gays." I'm for anybody that's walking and breathing. I don't discriminate. I got too much going on and too many people that I'm trying to help I don't have time to discriminate against anybody. That's not my place. That's not my calling. That's not my business. That's it. If somebody needs my help, I'm going to help them unless I can't. That's what I do. That has nothing to do with being a liberal. I never claimed to be a Democrat, Republican, liberal, or nothing else. I'm just me. There's no label on that. If it has a label, the label is me. M-E, me. And I'm a firm believer, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And I'm not going to stand by. And I'm not going to take part in any type of behavior that goes after or targets a particular community. Especially, ooh, child, I'm not doing that. Lord, we know what that feels like, y'all. We know what that feels like, and if we don't, our ancestors for darn sure know what it feels like. Why are we going and the cycle got to end somewhere. The cycle has to end somewhere. Come on. It's not healthy to just be going around hating people. You got men that hate women. It's something behind it. You have women that hate men. There's something behind it. There's a reason for it. You got blacks that hate whites. You got whites that hate blacks. You got black and white that hate Asians. They don't know why. You got Christians that hate Jehovah's Witnesses. Tell you how ignorant this stuff can get. You got Baptist people that hate Methodists. You got Methodists that hate Seventh-day Adventists. You got Christians that hate Muslims. You got Muslims that hate Christians. Catholics, Jews, you throw it all up in there. We just got hate going all around the darn place. And we don't like when people are displaying hateful behaviors towards us. So why would we go and indulge in the same behaviors when we don't like those behaviors being done to us? Like, what the flip? It's like you don't like being beat on, so why would you condone somebody else being beat on? You won't want somebody coming after your child because of something they didn't like about your child. So why is it okay for this person to come after this child because you don't like what they got going on? If they're not causing any harm to you, your children, your livelihood, your family, the thing, like, why does it even matter? When are we going to start teaching our kids love? And that's the problem. Let me not say the problem. That's the difference with the kids now. Because these younger kids are not growing up with some of our older ways. They're not living through the teachings that we were taught. They're making their own decisions. And I can applaud them for that. Yes, some of them can be knuckleheads, but when it comes to who they love, who they like, who they choosing not to like, they are not letting us make those decisions for them. And I thank God for that. Because if so, we would be doomed for failure forever. Now let me get my cell phone off here and go to bed, because I got to go to work in the morning. And go out here and work with everybody. And be non-discriminatory in the work that I do. I'm just saying. Basic Mom, thank you for holding it down for me. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all know this had to be irking me for me to come on here at night and to come on here twice in the same darn day. But I'm getting sick of these people. I am getting sick of these people. Here we go, Lord. Help me, Jesus. I have always been this way. I'm going to do this real quick. I have always been this way. people did not like my delivery. Anybody that has been following my page from the beginning, I told them exactly where I stood, where I was not taking anybody's side. Basic Mom, you know what it is. My stuff hasn't changed. The only thing that has changed is I stopped talking about something that people didn't really want to hear the truth about. We couldn't have real discussions about it. So I'm not going to talk about something I can't have a real discussion on. The things that I'm talking about now that have nothing to do with that particular situation, we can have open discussions and open dialogues, and I don't have to have people coming in the chat trying to curse me out or trying to come at me all types of sideways because I don't agree with something that was said. Like I said from the beginning, I support everyone, and I said from the beginning that I have to work with everyone. I have to work with victims of certain things. I have to work with the perpetrators. I got to work with everybody. That has not changed. I said that from the beginning. That's what I do. So I can't be selective. I cannot be selective. I don't have the right to be selective. When I signed up to go in this field, I signed up for something saying that I have to fight for everyone. I can't pick and choose. And that's where I still stand to this day. So it's not about me being centered. I have always been centered. Since I was a child, actually. This has been the ground that I stood on. Yeah, I can't. I can't. If you go back and look at my stuff from today, that has a lot to do. When I said I pulled back, I pulled back. Because I just can't participate in this stuff. I don't like seeing people bully. I don't like for anybody to try to bully me. And that's why this situation is going on right now. That's why it bothers me. Because I don't like it. I don't like it. I have been targeted as a black woman. I had a whole group of people from the Aryan Brotherhood to come after me. So when I'm sitting here having conversations about stuff, I'm not talking behind somebody. I'm telling y'all some stuff that I have done seen, some stuff that I have been through. And so I can't sit there, and even with those people trying to come behind me, guess what? When they needed help, I still had to help them. Even though they wanted to take my life, I still had to help them. And I did what I had to do because I know what my calling is. And sometimes we can let this stuff in social media get in us, and it kind of throws you off, and it starts pulling you away from that, and that's when you have to pull back. That's when you have to pull back, and you got to make some decisions. And I'm going to say this before I get off, because those were decisions that I made. You guys know, again, if you have been following me, my videos were getting thousands of views. But when I saw how things were going and how so much negativity was involved, I decided, I made an executive decision that that's not the road that I wanted to go down. And if this is what it was going to take for me to have all these people following me, or for all these people watching my videos, I didn't want it. I was not going to sacrifice my soul. What good does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? So you know what I did? I went and took the darn videos down. You know what that did? That cut a lot of my money off. You know what that also did? That took a lot of my viewers. That took a lot of my subscribers away. But the way I feel, if I only got 5 subscribers, if I only got 5 people in the chat, then those are the 5 that were meant to be there. If that 5 means I don't have to sit there and go back and forth with nobody. I don't have to sit there and try to explain to people why I'm not going after this one, why I'm not going after that one. I don't have to keep justifying my stance on stuff, why I won't say this. You need to say that. Like, I don't have to do that, because I don't do that in real life. I fight for people in real life. That's what I do. That's what I signed up for. That's what I've been doing for almost 20 years. That's what I've been doing. And I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it. So, yeah, that's why I can't go along with this madness right here. That's why I cannot go along with this madness. Okay, Shay. I'm trying to miss. Oh, Miss Down South. Okay, I had to read that. Okay, Miss Down South. Appreciate that. And I didn't take it as a negative thing, but just because I haven't seen that actually put in the chat, that those initials put in the chat for so long, because I stayed away from it because it was too much negativity that was surrounding it. And there still is. Even with all the stuff that has happened, and it's still a lot of negativity around it. And that I think it's gonna remain that way for a while. And I can't I just can't sit in negativity. It got to go. It got to go. But y'all, I'm gonna get off here because I got to be up at 5:30 so I can go out here and save the world. So I hope y'all got something out of this. You guys go and check out what's going on with this situation in Colorado, because it is sad. And just one life lost is one too many. Just one is one too many. And I'm hoping that we learn to keep the same energy, that we make a change. Like, keep the same energy. Like, if you're going crazy over a celebrity, let's not forget about the regular folks that's not in a certain tax bracket. Let's not forget about the regular folks that's just living their day-to-day life like we're living our day-to-day. Let's not forget about those people, because those lives matter too. That's the hashtag. Normal people's lives matter too. So that's my thing. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining in, chiming in on the conversation. And I will see you guys next time. Again, y'all, please be safe out there. Please be aware of your surroundings at all times. Please. Please. And if you see a chance where you can help someone that may be in a situation, if you can help yourself and still be safe, and Lord, do that. Do that. Because people out here, they are just not going to do right, y'all. So we got to at least try to do the right thing. If nobody else do it, we got to put our good foot forward and try to do the right thing. I see y'all saying goodnight, so y'all have a good one. Y'all all are in my prayers for all of us to be safe. And you guys, like I said, have a productive week. Have a safe week. I'll see you next time.